Well, alrighty. About 11:15 on Tuesday, April. Tuesday, April 18th. Behind my buddy Randy's house. And although this is the edge of his property, probably crow hopping a little bit, but there's something going on right here. Winky the worm, it says, yeah, dig here. Wink, wink. So we're going to follow Winky the worm. We are just the other side of the property line from where last November, less than 6 months ago, I dug up that USA Hospital Department jar. So we are in a good zone, I would say. Although, like I say, we're who knows where we are. But it felt interesting, crunchy. I don't know what. Something's going on. I'm going to find out what it is. And when I get close to figuring it out, I'll bring you along. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, slightly more than an hour after I started. I'm down about 4 foot. And I'm just starting to hit a crunchy use layer, but my probe says there's no depth to it. And yet I'm digging up, little bits of metal here. When you can do this to metal, even if that was a tin can, that's old. And also little bits of milled lumber telling me I'm probably in a woodline privy. But by golly, I can't tell any age. This came out of the very top, about a foot deep, mentholatum. Those are 1910s or newer. And I dug up this bad boy. I don't know if that's a knife, old remnants of a pocket knife, or what's going on. And this, I would have said, was a soap dish if it were about 1/4 of the size. Yeah, some sort of big bowl plate thing. First thing out of the hole sort of made me laugh. It's like I picked up from the last hole I was digging in, where I dug up a half a dozen lamp wick adjusters. And something that I jokingly said was a bottle digger's screwdriver from 100 years ago. And one glass bottle, well, actually 2 glass bottle fragments, but I believe they're the same bottle. And anyway, I can't find it. It's not worth finding. Oh, here it is. It's got what looks like Ayers on the base, and it's got an obvious Owens ring, telling me it's an early machine made. But that came out about the same layer as the mentholatum jar. So I can't get a handle on the age. The depth is avoiding me. So we'll just have to plug along and see what we can see. Very strange. Typical of this town, just about every hole has strangeness to it. Yeah. Well, alright, boys and girls. It's about an hour after my last video. And mainly because I haven't even gotten any bottle glass until just now. And right where to the left of my foot, right there, is a bottle. And because I'm too fat and old to stand on my head in this hole. Oh God, it's not even a bottle, it's a freaking jar. Ugh, that's ugly already from here. And I was going to say, what little scraps of glass I've gotten so far are not good signs. Like early machine-made crap at the oldest. That's sad. Very sad. Do you see tears dropping over the lens. Yeah, maybe soon. Well, just moments later, after bitching about no age, a ground top ball mason, patent 1858, but there's no November 30th, just patent. Patent 1858. I've dug up the ball patent jars before with the lightning tops. Those are super rare, first ones. But I didn't know they made these quart size with a ground lip later on. I'll have to check this one out in the book. Too bad it's not all there, huh? Yeah, oh well. It's probably a $10 jar. 99% of the ones I dig are, and the ones that aren't are broken. So I take it back. That one's probably a $100 jar just because it's broken. Yeah. Well, right after that mason jar, I pull out this, partial labeled RDO something or other. I could probably make it out if I really had my glasses. Machine made, but boy, it's got a million little seed bubbles in it, like a lot of early machine made stuff does. And then right next to it, I mean, typically that's an olive jar. I don't care what the label says. Oh, I see the IVE on the label there. IVE, olive. Right next to that is a tool top. Guess what? Olive jar. So far everything that's come out of here has been a jar of some sort. That first thing was a shoe polish jar. I guess technically it could be a bottle. Yeah. Bottle jar, who cares? It's a shoe polish. And it ain't an 1870s Whitmore's either. Alright, back at it. Hopefully I'll pop up a good late throw. How about that? That's what I was going to mention right before I dug up that ground top mason. Yeah, always that possibility. Well, okay. Exactly an hour after the last time I videoed. Not much to show for anything. Just more junk. However, it is a wood liner. And it does go back. At least back to beyond where my finger's pointing, because I haven't hit a wall there. You might be able to see a little bit of the wood liner right in there, right along my shadow. If I get out of the shadow, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, definitely a wood liner. I got this wall, and I got the wall right directly behind me figured out. But the other two are eluding me again. I'm going to have to change my name to Two Wall Privy Digger. Yeah. Follow two walls till you get tired and quit. Yeah. Well, back at it. Okay. After about a half an hour of trying to break this thing, I don't know how many times I hit it with my shovel on the rim, I finally was able to realize, hey, this thing might be whole. First I thought it was a chamber pot, but then I was like, wow, this is different. And then I was finally able to flip it over, and even though it's got a big ass crack in it right there, it says butter. Butter right across the front there. In cobalt blue stenciling. Crack goes through the bottom but stops right about there. So I think it's probably stable. And the other cool thing, I always tell newbies, always empty out cans, pans, pots, and crocks that might be hiding something. I've actually found bottles hiding and stuff like this. Little bitty guys. Yeah, this one's got all kinds of crap in it. Bones and glass. It could be a silver dollar or an Indian head penny at the bottom. You never know. Yeah. You know what? I can't film this and see what I'm doing at the same time. I'm sorry, folks. I'll come back to you. Likely as not, there's nothing in it, but better to know than not. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, alrighty. After, well, let me see, 4:15, 5 hours of digging worth. And I got my buddy Randy next door here to agree to pull a bucket for me for an hour. So I might finish this thing out this evening. I think I need to go home, feed the dog, maybe feed me, and then come back and finish this thing out, because there really isn't a whole lot left to be digging by myself for. Yeah, we got almost everything machine made here. You know, with a couple of holdouts, everything's machine made. We got a shoe polish, another shoe polish. I gave Randy a machine made Hamlin's Wizard Oil and a Hires root beer for the home. Machine made extract, machine made medicine. I don't know if it's machine made or not. I think it is. Maybe not. These two are definitely tool top. And this one is definitely machine made, so yeah. And then the only keeper out of the hole is this Judge and Dolph drug stores from St. Louis. WT Company. That, for you newbies, is the later WT Company. They were WT and Company right up to 1901. And starting in 1901, they changed the name to WT Company. So they must have bought out whoever their partner had been for 50 years. But it's tool top. Cool little guy. I don't know of any WT Company bottles that are machine made. I used to have a great collection of these cold cream jars. This one's one I've never dug up. I don't even know what that says. Agal or Royal, or I know this says cold cream. Let's see if it'll clean up. A machine made Laxol. Christ, that couldn't even come out tooled. Sheesh. And a smattering of other things, but nothing worth dragging home. A couple of broken sodas. One of them was this guy. That one was tool top. And common as hell. This one was aqua and machine made. I'm still looking for the tool top variation of this one. I dug up the rest of it, and it's just a plain Frank Jennings. Anyway, that's it for now. I think the best thing out of the hole is the butter crock. I just hope it cleans up better than it looks. Alrighty, it's Wednesday, April 19th. About 4 o'clock. I'm about to holler at my buddy Randy to see if he wants to climb down in there and dig a good bottle. Bottles are plentiful. Good ones are not. You know, some of these would have been good, except they're all unembossed. So the embossed tool tips are out of probably 50 bottles. Yep. So anyway, gotta holler at him. Gotta fill her it in. Gotta fill her in tonight. Today. Now. If he doesn't want to dig, it's getting filled in now. Yep. Alright, this is a test. We got Randy backside to us here, digging deep in the hole, looking for that rare one. And I got my hand cupped over the microphone because we're getting gale force winds up here. It's supposed to rain good tonight, and don't want to blow out the audio. So anyway, Randy's getting down towards the bottom down there. Should bottom out in another foot or so. So far all we found is machine-made stuff and a very few tool top hand-blown bottles. But it seems to be getting slightly older as we near the bottom, so keeping our fingers crossed. Back at you later.
And then you make a dramatic reaction and we cut the commercial.
Yeah, no. We don't want no drama here.
You gotta have a 10-episode series for that.
This is a rare. This is a rare find. This is
just knock. Say, hey, Randy needs a beer, but I think they're gone.
Typically these are amber with these funky little pop tops. They were pre-screw tops, but they were after the cork tops. And I call this a transitional. I've only dug up one of these and I've only seen the one. So this one has got me all excited. I'm like, wow, this is too cool. I'm just excited. I figured there had to be more than one. They wouldn't make a mold just for one. You know, that's too expensive. But for how long they were in transition, I suspect not very. A year, maybe. Gosh, oh golly, I'm just way too cool. I'm so damn happy. The Piezo Company, Hazeltine and Company, and then trade Piezo's mark. And you're supposed to pronounce that like a Z, Piezo, I've read somewhere. So, a Piezo's transitional bottle. Remnants of the old label on there, but sadly nothing's readable on that. Could be the consumption cure, could be the, you know, God only knows cure. Too cool. Best bottle out of the hole. Yeehaw. Alright, boys and girls, I know it's getting dark down here. Trust me, I know. And this just wiggled loose, and I know it's a Palmer's Greenie. And look at that bad boy. Yay! Makes my 232nd Palmer's. No, I wish, but boy, I just love digging these. I never get tired of it. Randy just dug one up earlier. Same style. They have, I think I misspoke on a previous video. I thought they said 6 ounces. They say 2.5. Boy, not even close to 6 ounces. Boy, I was way off. But they do come in different sizes, but these are tool topped. And one thing I hate about this camera, holding it one-handed, you touch one button and everything goes wrong, especially when you try to tip it upwards. This is almost that 7-Up green. It's lighter than the patented Palmer's green, and Palmer actually patented their color, so go figure. I don't know how you patent a color, but supposedly they did for a while. Anyway, cool bottle. Well, okay. Here we are with our haul. We've got a nice cobalt square ink. We got a Fellows syrup of hippophosphites. A rare Piezo transitional mold, a Dr. Harder's liniment, which I haven't had, a couple of Palmers. Yeah, there's a Palmer's. And good God, a smattering of just a ton of slick after slick. But at the bottom we finally hit some decent tool top stuff. And there you have it. Now we gotta just fill in the hole tonight, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Yeah, one thing I hate slinging is mud. I'm a dirt slinger, not a mud mucker, or a mud slinger, or a mother mucker. Well, I've been called worse. Yep. There you go. Hole number 5 of the year, knocked in the head. Yeehaw. Well, alrighty. Less than 24 hours later. These were my share of the keepers. Not a whole lot to say about anything except for one bottle. Well, the crier in the middle, but we'll get to him. We got a lovely machine-made Laxol. I was kind of surprised that it was machine-made, because I was pulling out some tool top stuff near it. But it's super clean, so what the hell. And the fellow syrup of hypophosphites. I've never dug a undamaged example, even though they're common as all get out. And you know, I'm sure the machine-made ones are even more common, which is what this is. At first I thought it was tool top, but as soon as I saw that ounces on the back, I thought, yeah, that's probably machined. But I couldn't see it. Even with my glasses on, it's hard to see. But it's there. It's an early machine-made guy. And the cold cream jar, Niall's, I believe, was a product of the Rexall store, if I'm not mistaken. Niall's cold cream. And I used to have a good collection of these cold cream jars just because nobody else took them home, you know, and some of them were pretty cool. I got one that's kind of a blue slag glass, milk glass, Sanitol cold cream jar, and it's beautiful. It's like a robin egg blue color. And I still have that one, but all the others I got rid of eventually. Next one, I haven't dug one of these in years. And for the longest time people thought it was some sort of medicine, but apparently it's a spot remover. Carbana Company, or what does it say? Products Company, Carbana. This one's a later one. But it's still tool top. Everything left is tool top, except for the crier here. This is the one that got me excited. I jumped in the hole yesterday and pulled this bad boy out right off the bat. Knew what it was, but I was really surprised because I've only seen and heard of one other, and it's in my collection already. This one, however, came out just sparkling clean. I can clean it up even a little bit more. But this is what I would refer to as a transition mold. The Paizo Company. Trademark Paizos, Hazeltine and Company. And typically you'll see this particular mold and bottle in amber and machine made because it had those little pop-off caps attached by a wire instead of a cork or a screw top. And this thing is tool top, which just begs the question, how did they hand tool this? They had to have a special lipping tool to go around and create that. But you know, it's only the second one I've ever seen or heard about, and this one looks like it'll turn color in a bright window. The other one not so much. moving right along, the Judge and what is it, Dolph drugstores, St. Louis. I'd never heard of it before. It's in Johnny's book as scarce, listed for 20 to 40 bucks in amber. Clear ones are common. And this one is W.T. Company, which was the predecessor to W.T. and Company. They changed the name in 1901. So this can't be any older than 1901, and probably a good bit newer. Still tool top. The crier, you jar guys probably know, recognized it, and I sort of recognized it, but I couldn't make out without my glasses what was in the middle. And sure as heck, it's a smooth-lipped Flaccus Brothers Steers Head fruit jar, missing the obvious essentials, a base and a side. But I thought I would add it with the video anyway, just to boo-hoo along with everybody else. All the fruit jars I dig up that are undamaged are worth 10 bucks, you know. That one's around 100, I think. If it were the color of this Palmer's, that would be a different story. 1,500 or something. Speaking of Palmer's, 2.5 ounces. I've got a bunch of them like in my Palmer video, but hey, we dug up 2 of them. My digging buddy Randy got one, and I got this one. That worked out sweet. And then not long after that, Palmer's vegetable cosmetic lotion, and I've dug these up machine made, look identical. Except I think it just said vegetable lotion, not cosmetic, or maybe it just said cosmetic. A little bit different embossing on the machine-made one that I recall. But yeah, this one's a tool top. And then of course the butter crock. It's it's got a couple of nicks, a few chips, some crazing, and a crack, just like me. But we're both survivors, so and I just love it. You know, I never dig up crocks that survive in any kind of condition. You know, they're always crushed, busted, glue jobs. You know, so far I haven't had to glue this thing back together, but I can feel it. I gotta lift it with both hands because it feels like it could pull apart on its own weight. But anyway, there you have it. It was a fun number 5 dig on this year, 2023. And the cool part about this dig is that I figured out through my maps and research that pit had to go to the house on the corner, which dates back to the 1850s. Which tells me there's at least 1 or 2 more older privies on the property somewhere. The biggest problem for me is it's got an extra lot attached to it, and that's where this privy was. So I'm going to give it more extra attention in this area, because in the neighboring yard my buddy Randy lives, we found 3 privies within probably a 10-foot circumference of each other. So that's what I'm hoping. Once I recover from this dig, I'm still achy, breaky. Feeling like a pretzel that got straightened out in the night. Yep. Anyway, there you have it. It was a fun dig. Lots and lots of glass. It's what we always like to see. A little bit more age wouldn't have hurt any. Well, alrighty. This is the mess from the other day. Today is Sunday, April 23rd. Yeah, about 10 o'clock, 10:30. Anyway, this is pretty much how we left the pile of bottles. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. Apparently the squirrel is like, hey, dude, this is my hood. Anyway, kind of surprised Randy only took a couple of bottles in. He dug up this nice cobalt blue ink. Left it behind for the squirrel. Also these lovely bromos. And this dioxygen. Oakland Chemical Company. It is a tool top too. Most of this stuff was machine made. Machine made Hamlin's, Wizzy oil. Got a mangan, Pepto-Mangan, good or whatever. Heart tonic. It's got the heart on the bottom. This one's tooled. In good shape. Got a Wyeth strap side. Oddly enough, it's machine made. I don't recall ever seeing a machine made Wyeth strap side, but there it is. And I had come back mainly because of this guy. He's got a really crude lip. When I pulled it out, I was like, oh, looks like an Irish whiskey. Applied top, 3-piece mold, and sometimes right in the upper part of the mold, very faint embossing on some of these Irish whiskeys. Coles Alg or something like that. It's one that I recall. I think I dug one up, had it on my shelf for years, and before I realized there was embossing on it, you know. Sadly, this one has nothing on it. But, like I say, applied top, 3-piece mold. What's not to like about that? But there was another bottle that disturbed me, so I took it home. Actually, I came out here and I took a look at it. And right on the shoulder, this shoulder, is embossing. I couldn't make it out hardly. I kept squinting and squinting. Finally, I figured out walnutta. I laughed. I was like, I've heard walnutta used before in some sort of a term or phrase. Anyway, nice little tool top. Apparently, it's a hair dye, a colorizer. In good shape, you know, cleaned up nicely. And in this bottle here, there was a stopper, like a shaker stopper. So I took it home, cleaned it up, and it said Johnson & Johnson, which is commonly known as a medicine bandage company mostly. So I think I'll take this home, clean it up. It's tool top. Clean her up and put the stopper back in it. Other than that, everything else is JUNK in my book, for the most part. Yeah, move along. There's not a lot to see here. There is a lot to see here, but not a lot of good to see here. Yeah. We have a little issue here called I need to clean up this mess. Yeah. Sooner than later. Unfortunately, we filled it in the dark and we couldn't see what we were doing with little headlamps, you know. Come back the next day and I was like, oh my God. We have buckets worth of broken glass and dishes and everything on the surface. During the daylight hours, I would have seen that. All that would have gone back in the hole before anything. So, anyway, that's on me. I am the leader of the team, and I should have said something earlier, but I didn't. I thought the hole was going to be plenty big enough, considering all that we pulled out of it. I thought we'd be looking for dirt, but no. Well, alrighty. Today is Tuesday, April 25th. Yeah. And I'm here to clean up the detritus, the mess. 50-50 as to whether it'll sink down any. Chances are it will. So I'm going to fill up this unused barrel that I brought from home, stash it next door in the junker yard, and use it as needed should and when the hole collapses. Well, as promised, here it is, all pretty and raked up with buckets and a barrel ready to roll if this puppy sinks down. But I don't know, we undermined it pretty severely, especially back that way. So it may not cave in. Because of that tree, the roots are holding everything pretty tight. That's why I didn't mind tunneling under so much. Had a couple of minor cave-ins, enough to get my attention.